Robben Island. You know, Nelson Mandela was incarcerated for 27 years fighting apartheid. He could have just gone home and just lived his own life, but he decided it just wasn't right. And so he spent 17 years on this Robben Island. But I like what he said when he came out, and this is what he said. He said, as I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and my hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. You see, you got to watch that. You got to watch that root of bitterness. It's like cancer. It's like cancer. You know, cancer can metastasize, they call it, spread to other parts of your body. If you've ever met a person, you can see it. When you talk to them, they're always talking about the thing that happened. And it affects your relationships. People don't want to be around you when you always talking about what ain't it awful and what they did to you. Really, they'll listen to you a couple of times, then they sick of you talking about it. Amen. Just that's a freebie right there. But listen, so it can spread. It can spread. Let me tell you, it'll affect you financially. It could affect you. I'm telling you, it can spread to other parts of your being. A man called my office one day, and he wanted to order a book for a woman, and he said, listen, I need to send it to anonymously, though. I'm going to pay for it, but she needs it right now. I don't know which book it was, but she needs it right now. And he said, could you just mail it to her? And I'm thinking, you know, we don't really extend credit to people. You know, we've had not a lot of bad experiences. We've had some bad experiences, but I don't have to have but one for me to be done with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with my money, you know. Once you show me who you are, I'm done with you. Okay, forgive me, Jesus. But at any rate, I got that from my daddy. My daddy, if you borrowed money from him, you had to note. He had collateral. And when my daddy died, I collected stuff for days. He had so many little notes he held. This one's gun, this one's jewelry, this one's whatever. You know, but this man didn't pay me. And he had the woman's address, and he told me some personal things about her that I'm sure she wouldn't have appreciated. I kept calling him. Now, we're talking under $20, folks, but it's the principle of the thing, okay? And so I kept calling him, and he never paid me. He never paid me. I wanted to call the lady and tell him all that man had said about her. I started thinking of ways I could pay him back. I didn't do that Joseph thing. I'm like, oh, he gonna pay me. And you know, one day, and I must have kept that invoice in that outstanding bill file for 2 or 3 years. And one day the Lord said, put that up, just tear it up. And I shredded that thing, and I felt like my creativity returned. I think that was stifling me just thinking about that. Every time I looked at it, I can't believe that dirty dog didn't pay me. I was still in prison.